Go over the first collage that I did in school in mass art. The first one, this is the predecessor to this. I like this one more because it's more colorful. It's beautiful. I don't know. I hang it on the wall and I look at it as I sleep. The sheets are off, but as I sleep. And the colors, they just get me every single time. It's like perfect color balance. I don't know what happened with that one. But this one, when the other one didn't exist, this one was beautiful to me, even more beautiful than that one. But of course, as you keep going, it gets better and better. All right, I found a way. I'll bring it back. Found a way to make it so that it stays. So you could just look at it from here. So I can come and point to it. But yeah, this was for homework assignment. Took us 7 days to do. It was basically a collage. The professor was like, make a collage about anything you want, or about two opposing themes. So I said, okay. And I was at the library getting magazines. There were some furniture design and manufacturing magazines, and there was like 10,000 of them. So I took a bunch of those. I flipped through all of them, and it's crazy because really, as you flip through these things, if you have an idea on your subconscious, it's like you're gonna find it as in anything you do. So I wasn't looking for a particular theme for this collage, but there was a theme that was manifesting regardless. It's almost like when you play with Legos, right? When you play with Legos, you're sifting through all the thousands of random pieces, and subconsciously, something in your intuition tells you pick that piece up, even though you don't need it right now. When you pick it up, you're gonna need it later. That's a fact. That's a fact. Anyways, let's get into this. Let me actually see how well you can see what you're looking at, like if I need to go closer or something. So if I point like here, yeah, okay, it should be good. And for the small details, I'll point things, but I think you could mostly see everything from here. But anyways, the piece is called The Portrait of America. Very small here, it says blasphemy. It's funny, I just said I should point things out and I point to the smallest thing. So the piece here is blasphemy. Portrait of America. You have three men that are looking at the globe, and the inside of it, it's burning, and it says fire in Arabic. If you look close, I'll show it up close. But it says fire in Arabic. It's being held up by three idols or statues, and maybe that's reminiscent of like maybe the book of Daniel in the Bible. You know, when Nebuchadnezzar, I was just reading it today, when he tells Nebuchadnezzar's dream, and it's about a statue, you know. But it's also like the idols hold up the earth, right? And we'll get more into it. But then you have this guy who's warming his feet by the fire, right? And he's happy. He has a smile on his face. Behind him, upside down, is a statue that was in Rome. So it's kind of like it's in the background, so it's not in the forefront of your mind, but you can see it there. It's subliminal, I guess, because it's saying that nothing has changed in the ways. It's just Rome rebranded, essentially, right? And I guess that gets into conspiracies. It's a key word here, right? But yeah, so then you have Rome in the background. This is to take up space. This is before I was like I just needed something to take up space, and homework was due, and also I thought it was funny. Also, I made this behind it. Let's hope you can see it. I made this at the same time, so that's why. Let me see if you guys can actually see it. No, you can't see it all. But I'll show it on the screen, or I'll lift this up a little bit. That thing right there. I made that at the same time, and I thought it was humorous. Everybody thought it was humorous, so I made it. And there was big letters that said "Don't edge" or whatever, so I put it here for those ones. But regardless, this is like nonsense. But the rest of it is on point. So what I'm trying to say here is that the world is kind of being run in a certain way, and it gets a little bit biblical. For example, on the right side, I think you could split it up into segments. The right side has to do with money. The middle has to do with how they work with the money. And the left side here has to do with what tools they use to make the profits, because profit is what makes the world go round, I think, at least nowadays. It should not be what makes the world go round, but it does. And I'm not proclaiming anti-capitalism or anti-socialism or pro-anything. I don't label myself as those or subscribe to a doctrine, but this is just mere commentary on observation. This is what I think. It would be foolish of me to say I am this 100%. I don't believe in that. So what you have here is essentially the right side talks about prophets. Here's a magic ball. There's a woman with long hair, and she's overlooking the ball with money inside of it. But I put a man's face on it because there's no women in this whole thing. So I feel like it would be out of place to have a woman in this. And that's no hate to, that topic, but it's just not. This is not what that's for. So this woman is telling the future of prophet, basically. And here, very close, we have the words priest, prophet, and prophet. I'll get a little close now because I think you guys all have seen, for 5 minutes, right? You've seen a lot. Priest, prophet, or prophet, right? Here it says increase, and behind the word is covered because I would like it to be left to interpretation. You could put the word prophet there, you could put the word prophets there, or you could put the word priests, right? And obviously you can't put this prophet because it would be too long, but it's like a play on words because you can spell prophet 2 different ways and they sound the same, but they mean different things. But do they really mean different things is the point, right? So this guy on the right side, he's like I think he is the man who is making the piece, right? He's coming from out of the frame, and it looks like he is holding a king here, and he's pointing to the prophets. So he's like, okay, prophet, tell me where the money will be, and I'm going to place my king there, right? I'm going to place my king there. And then that's when you see and then the king comes, and the king installs laws to, cover the microphone. The king installs laws to implement high caliber cost cutters, get more of the action, cut your costs, It's not a high caliber cost cutter, it's a gun. It's a gun. But this is, I didn't intend for it to be like this. I'm not gonna lie. It really did just happen like this. This is a real advertisement, high caliber cost cutter. And I said, for this theme, it just, it's perfect. It's beautiful. But the king where am I pointing? The king that he places, based on what his prophet tells him, to make profit, he will implement these things here because these things make the most money next to pharmaceuticals, next to healthcare, right? It's all about money. You're chasing the money, money, money. But we're not really sure who these people are, right? You can say, oh, Rockefeller, oh, Rothschild, oh, like this, whatever. But who knows, bro? Who knows, honestly? You could read the Bible, you could probably figure out, there's been people who have traced it back to bloodlines like Esau, Jacob, or whatever. It's so much information. The point is, it's simple. It's bad men doing bad things for money. That's all it's ever been. Here in the middle, we have gone a little bit more detail of what that is. And you see a human hand with a chain holding the earth, spinning it the way that he wants to. The world turns, right? The king is behind the earth. The same king that he placed, right? Here in the background, I do a little bit of the astrology things like Saturn, Jupiter, and the sun. So it kind of creates a sense of depth there, right? Talk about how there's fertility gods. You can kind of see it in the words if you read or pause. But Greek pagan religions, Roman mythology, right? Story of Jesus and Rome and all of that stuff. We move it over to here. We have the same elements in the other collage that I did, the second one, where we talk about these 3 religions here and how they're all the same. And I took a page. The background is made of pages of old books, mostly blank pages because I didn't want to defile the books. But some of them I took out intentionally because this one talks about among the best Victory, Florentines, Medici, 1492, and this just made me think of Venice. And I know it's not in Venice. I know it says Medici, whatever, but maybe it is in Venice. My history is a little bit off right now. I haven't been focused on that. But I wrote about how the history of Venetian, Phoenician, and a Phoenician or a Canaanite, right? They're all the same thing, and they all deal with currency. And I think Venice is a very good setting for that. And I think it maybe have been intentional because currency is like water. the streets of Venice are like a river, right? So if you know how to work with water, you know how to work with money. Basically, that's why it's called currency. And so it's no what is the word? Coincidence that the Canaanites, Phoenicians, and Venetians come from the same. And you know, you're gonna debate that, but whatever. This guy says the right way up here, direction. I think that's in a reference to this, right? The world turns the right way, and then he shows you the right way. And here we go, have a little small diagram of money, pyramid, 13 arrows, the numbers. You know what I mean? It's not like to prove a point. It's more just to say what is going on here, right? if it makes sense what I'm explaining. If not, then you look at this piece and you decide for yourself. But here we ask the question: who's the real enemy, right? Because these businessmen who walks on the yellow brick road or the road made of money, just like the Wizard of Oz, you know what that's about, Federal Reserve. But these people, they say, who's the real enemy? They tell you who an enemy is, right? So they say, give us a call. We'll tell you who the enemy is. 1-800-PROPHET. Our prophets will let you know. These guys over here dissecting the whole world, right? And I've written things here. You gotta look really close. Let's see if we can go closer. Let's see. Spanish Inquisition. Yeah. Egypt, biblical locations, Morocco. Okay, yes. So this talks about a little bit of like some history that I learned, and maybe it's not true history, but who knows what true history is. But it talks about Egypt and the biblical locations, Morocco, the kingdom and empire of Morocco, which signed a treaty with America when they were like first getting slaves, so that their people couldn't be enslaved if they were claimed as Moroccan. And you have all the Hebrew Israelites talking about how they're Moroccan or American, and how it's, you know, they play with the words and whatnot. So I just wrote some of those things down here. How these old guys, you know, they're looking at their map and their information, and they are basically, when you give them a call, they're gonna look at this and they're gonna tell you what they want you to hear when they have all the answers in front of them. If that makes sense. This I just painted because I needed to do some translucent or transparent exercises. So I had to paint it like the earth or money was see-through and whatnot. But essentially, that's the essence of this piece, right? Just money, America, the world, what's kind of going on with it. I'm just trying to find a way to express what I am learning, you know? And when you express what you're learning, you reflect on it, you understand it more. And that naturally filters out the wrong from the right, you know? Maybe I'll do another video on this, because I feel like there's a lot to it. But I want to find a way to also talk about my comic that I'm making, or the pictures that I've taken, or the other works that I've done, because I've drawn so many drawings, but they're all digital, and it's hard for me to comprehend the digital. That's true. In tandem with this piece and this piece, we have this piece that I have to work on. I haven't worked on it in like 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I think I'm just gonna use some pastels over here. I got some pastels, and just probably color it in and have it just be some soldiers, you know. Excuse me. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, that is the portrait of America.